Boom day, boom day, boom day, boom day, boom day, boom day. Today is the boom day, guys. Today is the boom day. The final day. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. So, hello tennis guys and tennis ladies, and welcome to my channel. Today is the boom day, or the doomsday. Well, no, I'm just kidding. No doomsday, guys. It's a boomsday and my final review of the Boom MP. Oh, sorry. The Boom MP and the Boom Pro. And what a journey it was. This playtest or this review was one of the greatest reviews I've done so far since 2018, when I started reviewing tennis rackets for the sports store I work for. So I don't know where to begin, but the Booms essentially are great rackets for the masses, for the widest category of tennis players. But when I first picked up the rackets, I wasn't happy at all. I was quite, maybe even angry a little bit on Head. I was thinking, what is this company doing? Why are they releasing rackets that they don't fit anywhere in their line? But when I played with the rackets more and more, and I gave the rackets to different people around me I play with, and I got their feedback, and then it suddenly came to my mind that Head created probably one of the easiest tennis rackets on the market to swing with, but at the same time there is a very low compromise in the feel, in the precision, in the stability. So you would not expect from these rackets that everything what is in the, let's say, heavier rackets is also there, but maybe in a little bit lighter version. So if you didn't see the previous videos on Head Booms, my first impressions on the Head Booms, where I really criticized the Boom MP, then click somewhere else. The video will be somewhere here. And now we will start with the final Boom Boom review of these two rackets. I will post some play test or some footage of me playing with these rackets, so the footage will be around me all the time or almost all the time, and yeah, just enjoy this review. So I will start with the Boom MP, of course, the lighter brother of the Boom Pro, or the lighter sister. So the Boom MP is a racket that has head size of 645 square centimeters, or 100 inch. It weighs 295 gram unstrung. The balance is 315 millimeters into the hand. So it's really heavy balance to the hand. That's why it is so maneuverable. My favorite word is maneuverable, or maneuverability. Guys, I hate this word, but in the same time I like it, so it's interesting to pronounce it. Yeah, I hope someday I will pronounce it correctly. So the maneuverability of this racket is outstanding because it is balanced more to the hand. The next specs go as following. So the width of the beam is 24 millimeters. It is a constant beam. The string pattern is 16 by 19. So we all know how the 16 by 19 works. Great spin, great power, great feel, great comfort. So it's the, let's say, most used string pattern in modern tennis. And what do we have next? The stiffness of this racket is, I believe, around 64 or 65 or 66 RA. I'm not sure right now. I will post it in the video. So we are talking about quite flexible frame, but not that flexible like for Wilson Clash, for example. So a medium flexible or a frame with a little bit higher flexibility. And yeah, that's it. So the specs are like this. The technologies for these rackets are new. I've been talking about it in my previous video. So there is the Auxetic technology, which is here in the throat, and it helps the strings to move, or the strings move the beam a little bit up when you hit the ball, and when you hit the ball the strings go inside, they push up this part, and when the ball is released it will give the ball extra energy because this part goes down a little bit. So the Auxetic technology are some special pieces of material that works like let's say like a trampoline, but you don't see this moving, of course not, but it's a little bit more flexible, and the more power you put into the shot, the more auxetic reaction comes from this piece. And it works. You will really notice that it has really something to do with the way you play, with the way you swing, because sometimes you need the extra power and sometimes you don't. You need that feel, and the Auxetic technology is great also in delivering the feel which goes through the beam into your hand. So great improvement from Head. They also use it in the Prestige line, and I believe in other following lines too. The Graphene 360 Plus that was inside these rackets, or that these rackets were made of, the previous rackets or the other rackets from Head, is now called the Graphene Inside. I believe it's the same technology, the same graphene or the graphite, but the name for this technology changed so you can a little bit more understand what does it mean. It's not that complicated. Before we have the Graphene 360, then we have the Graphene 360 Plus. So what else to expect? 360 plus plus or plus 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 plus. So yeah, that's why they changed the name, so they can continue somehow in naming the technologies. And of course it looks different on the specs sheet if you read, oh, there is something new, Graphene Inside, but yeah, essentially it's the same graphite or graphene technology. What makes these rackets so different from all other rackets that Head produces, and what is really special for these rackets, as you look at the racket, is the head shape. So the head shape is different. It is not the typical oval head shape, but this head shape is similar a little bit to Yonex. But of course you can't mimic Yonex completely, because the isometric technology from Yonex is patented, so no company can actually make exactly the same head shape like Yonex does. They just can't do it. It's not allowed. But they try to mimic it. So if you look at the head shape there goes as usual, but in this section it's wider than usual. And it works together perfectly with the modern style of play, with the modern swing, because nowadays we don't hit the ball here in the center, we hit the ball here in the top section of the head, where the head produces maximum power, which actually is right here. There is the maximum power if you hit the ball right here, but it's not possible. Of course, there is the frame, but at the tip of the racket there is the maximum power. So for this racket the sweet spot is about here, so quite at the top. And I found out that for my swing, for my style, it works really great, because I play kind of, let's say, modern style with a stretch hand in front of my body, so I use all the power of the racket. But maybe some people who play the older style with the bent arm, like here, maybe some seniors, I'm not sure if this type of racket will be good for them, because then if you play here you will have the sweet spot a little bit lower, and that's where the racket will not deliver what is actually capable of. So guys, hitting the ball more top of the head, and this racket will work perfectly for you. So that's really the biggest difference. Now moving to the other technologies, which are the same for both rackets. So now I'm talking not only about the MP, I'm talking also about the Pro version, but that's only the first part of this review. So let's move to the next technology, which is called the Morph Beam. So the Morph Beam, what does it mean? So one thing that is also different from many other rackets is that because of the different head shape, head made also a little bit longer throat. So this part is longer, and once again is more, let's say, far away from your body, from your hand. And this boxed and elongated throat is connected to the powerful head. So once again, more power, more easy power, but at the same time great feel maintenance. So the feel from these rackets is I would say exceptional for this type of rackets. So that is the Morph Beam. Now we are moving to the other technology, which is called the power grommets. So the power grommets are essentially a bigger grommets with bigger holes, and they are all over the head. So the bigger the hole, the bigger the movement of the strings. And what does it mean? Bigger movement? Yeah, more power, more comfort, more spin, and that's how this works. It is actually nothing really special, because also other companies use bigger grommets to create a bigger string movement, let's say the bigger snapback of the main strings. But some companies or some other rackets have the power grommets, or let's say the spin grommets, only on top of the head, like for example the Extreme line from Head, but here they are all over the head, so bigger holes. Every string in this racket, including the cross strings, has a bigger movement possibility. So yeah, greater power and also greater comfort on your arm. I didn't mention one thing, I forgot to mention, but I will talk about it a little bit later. So the next technology is the Uni Pattern. The Uni Pattern has something to do also with the strings. So the spaces between the strings are, let's say, average or even for all of the strings. Nothing really special, because we have 16 by 19 pattern, but there are also versions that are called 16 by 19 pattern, opened 16 by 19 pattern with bigger space between the strings, and there is also a 16 by 19 closed string pattern. So string pattern 16 by 19, but with strings closer to each other. So what does it mean? Closer the strings, better precision, but harder the feedback. The open string pattern, what does it mean? Once again, more spin, more free power, more comfort. But in this case, in this racket, there is the Uni Pattern, and the Uni Pattern is like a mixture of the closed pattern and the open pattern. So I would say nice blend of everything together. Nice power but not exceptional, nice spin but not exceptional, and everything is under your control. So great control from both rackets, the control you would not once again expect from these frames. And finally there is the directional drilling, which has once again something to do with the strings. So the holes for the grommets are drilled in easier angle like this, so the strings are not stressed that much, because if you drill into the frame under this angle, for example, then the stress for the string is quite heavy, and the bigger stress to the strings, the harder feedback from the strings, of course. So now the drilling is easier, so once again greater comfort and also greater feel, greater feedback, easier feedback. And yeah, there we have the technologies. So now I'm coming to the thing that I didn't mention, and that's the swing weight. I measured the swing weight for the MP version and I got a very low number, 298 swing weight with the strings. That's really low. So this racket is almost on the same level of swing weight as 280 gram rackets or 275 gram rackets. So very low swing weight. Tennis Warehouse shows on their website a different swing weight. They show for the MP version, I believe 318, but it's not possible, guys. I've said that already in my previous videos, that their racket has to be, or had to be, when measured, balanced way more to the head and had more graphite and more gram, more weight from the production. So they probably received MP version with 300 and more gram, not 295. So that's why the swing weight was so high. Otherwise, a racket that is 295 gram heavy and has a balance to 315 millimeters, it just can't have swing weight of 318. It is not possible. Guys, I've measured many rackets of different weights and I know which racket can have 318 swing weight. For example, my Technifiber racket, which is the same weight, 295, but the balance is 1 centimeter more to the head. 1 centimeter, there's a big chunk. It has around 315 swing weight. Same weight, but more balance to the head. Of course, more swing weight, but not 318 for this type of racket. It's just not possible. So guys, bear in mind that if you buy the MP version, then it will probably have swing weight of 3.8, maybe 3.8, when it is correctly made and balanced, not more. So yeah, but coming to the play. When I played first with the MP, I was like, well, this racket is actually quite underpowered. It should be a power racket. So what's wrong with the racket? What's wrong with the name? The name is actually the weakest spot of these rackets. Why boom? The racket has nothing to do with boom. It's quite controllable. It has great feel. The precision is above average. But you need to swing with these rackets. And what's come to my mind, you need to, or to your mind, you need to swing hard with these rackets. No, you don't need to swing hard. You just need to swing fast with these rackets, to work them, to move them. And it is so easy. It is so easy. So especially the MP version is so easy to swing with that even women who can't properly swing with a 295 tennis racket can swing with this very easily. So I gave the racket to a woman I play with, and she plays with a pure drive 300 gram. And after some time she's really tired. After 40 minutes of training she's really tired, and I can see she is struggling to swing with the racket, and she's hitting the ball behind her, and I see that it's too heavy for her. But when I gave her this racket, she plays with it 1.5 hours. Every shot is the same, every shot is perfect. She isn't exhausted at all, and she keeps moving and pushing and swinging, and she just has a blast with the racket. So me too. I like the MP. I like the MP for my training when I play with someone, when I train someone, when I coach someone. But when I go to a hard match with someone that is on the same level I am, or who is maybe better, even better, then I struggle with the MP. It has not the stability I would like to have. It has not the mass. It has not the flow through I would like to have. It lacks a little bit of, I would say, the confidence I need from the racket on the attack shots and even on the defense. So when I'm in defense with this racket and I hit a really fast ball, so the racket is like, it moves like that. But when I change to the pro version is much stable. So the ball goes in and there is only a little bit of movement, and then the ball flies back with the same pace or even a faster pace. So that's the biggest difference between the MP and the pro version, that the pro version, I would say, is for men, and the MP version is great for women or juniors. But overall, I was really impressed with the fact that the racket plays like, let's say, head speed MP, but it's a little bit more maneuverable, is easier to swing with, and the confidence with the swing and with the sweet spot is just uncomparable to the other rackets from Head with the, let's say, traditional oval head shape. So yeah, great racket, but as I said, if you are a man who wants higher stability, more precision, more confidence, more power, more flow through, then switch to the pro version. So now I'm switching to the pro version myself. So I will go through all the specs, but not the technologies. We all already know about them. So the Boom Pro, my favorite of these two sticks. I would go with this racket anytime, any day, because I really felt in love with this stick. And I was reading some question on some forum or on some YouTube channel of some tennis guy, and there was a question, which racket would you take with you on an island? And I was like, yeah, the Boom Pro, of course. I was thinking about the other rackets I tested, the blades, the Pro stuff, or Technifibers and other Wilsons, and I was like, the other rackets, they have something really special, but in some things I didn't like them. But this is so easy. It's easy every time you pick it up. Every time you pick it up. So let's go through the specs. So the Pro version has a smaller head, but it doesn't feel like that if you play with it. Plenty of sweet spot. So the head is 630 square centimeters. So 98 inch. So something for the more advanced player, or even maybe a tournament player or a junior who plays tournament. Then the frame, or sorry, the weight, 310 gram unstrung. Ooh, 310. Ooh. Are you scared? No, you should not be scared, because it's so easy to play with this racket. It feels like it feels literally like a 295. Like a 295. Then there's the balance. The balance is the reason why is the racket so maneuverable. It's 310 millimeters. So once again, heavy balance to the hand for the modern type of swing, for the fastest possible swing. Then there is the frame. The beam width is only 22 millimeters. So yeah, the thinner the beam, the, let's say, less powerful, but more precision in the beam, more control and more feel. I like this beam. So it's my favorite, let's say, thickness of the beam. I don't like the super thin beams like 20 millimeters or 20.5 millimeters or 21 millimeters. The 22 millimeters is perfect, and I stop there. I don't like the super thin frames, but this is optimal for me. And what do we have next from the parameters? Oh, the stiffness. I believe it's the same. It's 65 or 64 or 66. I am not sure, but once again, medium stiffness or a little bit higher flexibility. So once again, great for the modern style of play. No arm issues at all. What is the swing weight of this racket though? So Tennis Warehouse, once again, they measure 325, which is quite high. It's so high that you would expect this number from a same weight racket, but once again with the balance more to the head. Not like this. The balance is like this. So the real swing weight of this particular version, of this Pro version, I measured on my swing weight machine, which is perfectly balanced, was only 311. So guys, once again, a 310 gram racket with a 311 swing weight. So super easy swing, super fast swing, and surprisingly, overall great stability, great power. You can play any shot from any position and you will still have control of the ball. So I'm not sure if I did mention this, but the weakest thing about these boom rackets is actually the name, because they don't do boom at all. They are not that powerful you would expect, and they are pretty nice, control oriented, and with a nice feel, nice touch, nice stability. And the boom is something that you would expect from let's say a senior racket with an oversized head that really drives the ball like crazy without really going for the ball, going aggressively. But with these rackets you can play aggressive, but you don't lose control. The balls go right where you want. And now I know the philosophy behind the booms. The philosophy is like this. So the other rackets from Head, they are specific in some of the features, let's say. So we have rackets for spin, we have rackets for control, we have rackets for power. But it is something for something. You gain something and you lose something. But the booms, you have everything in one place, everything in one place, and it works great. So if I should rate all the let's say playable features, so I would rate the top spin is, let's say, 7 out of 10. The control is 7 out of 10. The comfort is great, it's 7 or 8 out of 10. The plush feel also 7, 8 out of 10. So these rackets are really constant in all the categories you want. But then you have other rackets like extremes and speed, and they are great in something, but they lack something very much. So the overall number, the overall rating will be quite similar, but the booms are really good in all the things that we as a tennis players need. So imagine that you are a hard-working person, you work hard physically, and when you come home and you want to go play tennis just for fun with your friends, then you won't probably have power for, let's say, Speed Pro or even Speed MP or Gravity MP. These rackets, they are quite demanding. They demand from you that you are perfectly fit for the tennis. But when you go and you are like, oh man, I'm tired today, I just want to hit and I just want to have fun, just grab these. You have power for these anytime, anytime. If you are tired, no matter, it doesn't matter. You can play with these rackets and have a blast. So the philosophy, the you got this philosophy from Head is perfect. It's perfect. And at the beginning of the review, I couldn't believe it, but at the end, I'm really happy with these rackets, and I recommend them for all people who just want to have fun and who don't want to think about, oh, today I'm not really good for my E-zones 98 or for my, let's say, V-course 98 or for my pro staffs 97. I don't feel that great, or I can play with the rackets like 30 minutes and then I'm tired. But not with these. You can play 3 hours with these rackets and you will feel just great. You will feel just great. And the ball will go in the court like every time you hit the ball. So they are so easy to pick up and just play and to have fun that it just blows my mind that there is probably not any other racket right now on the market that has, or at least I've tested, that has so much, let's say, easiness, but at the same time the great performance. So yeah, guys, that was it. It was quite long. I hope you didn't get bored, but I have to talk about all the details because just buy these rackets. Just buy them. I believe these will be the top sellers from Head for this year, for sure. And don't hesitate to try them. And don't be like, oh, Boom Head rackets, what is this? Funny name? Is this just a gimmick? No, it's not. Just grab it and you will probably not go back for your racket of choice, because this will become your racket of choice. So the Boom Pro for men and the Boom MP for women, and that's it. It's simple as that. So yeah, this was my final review for the booms. If you enjoy that, click the thumbs up button. If you didn't, click the thumbs down button. Of course you can, it's your choice. We have freedom of speech, of opinion. And write me below the video your comments on the booms. Did you try them? Do you want to try them? Why? What is your favorite racket? What do you like about these rackets? And by the way, the design is great. Also, everyone who played with them and everyone I showed these rackets were like, yeah, nice, decent design. Nothing really, let's say, special, but really decent, looks good. The color fits men, women together, children or juniors. So yeah, and there are also 2 other versions coming, the Team and the Team L. And yeah, lighter rackets for maybe some beginners or even children who transition from the children racket to the adult racket. So guys, sorry, the new booms are here. The booms are great. They don't boom at all. They are like semi-boom, but everything is so easy. Tennis is fun with these rackets and I really enjoy them. So one of the greatest, best play tests and most enjoyable. I really love to grab the racket from my bag and just to go and hit with my friends, with people I coach, with children, with women, with older men, with older women. And it was like, yeah, I can play with this stick with anybody and I just have fun. I just have fun and I don't miss a single shot. So great rackets, give them a shot, and thank you very much for watching, for supporting me, for subscribing. It's great. I read all your comments and it makes me happy. So that was all for today and I will see you in next video. So stay tuned and enjoy tennis every time, every day. Boom.